Here, of course, back with Lynn. Been a couple of weeks since we've done a video, but I guess let's start things off. How's golf been? How's Canada Day weekend? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Good to see you. It has been a couple of weeks. Vancouver, unfortunately, has not been golfer's paradise. It's been rainy and cold, and I did slip out this morning early and got in 18 holes before 9 a.m. But it was beautiful. It was the first time really in the morning it's been above 14 degrees. So it's freezing cold. I played Saturday and Sunday morning at 5 a.m. and damn near froze. So been getting the odd game in, but it's pretty hard to get much of a game. But good thing for Sharc is I can't be on the golf course, so I'm in here working.
The positive spin you always have, Lynn. Yeah, I mean, let's quickly chat about maybe what we're gonna go over. So we'll chat. Obviously, there's been a lot of cities, a lot of countries coming out with some new legislation, new ways they want to do things. We'll talk about some kind of infrastructure changes that looks like cities are going through, over the next couple of years. So we'll chat about that, and then maybe a quick overview on the EPRI process. We chatted about it a little bit before and when you won the award and won everything. But let's go through maybe the next steps for EPRI. And then, Chad, you sent over a pretty cool video, and we'll make sure we show it, where you're kind of walking through, showing parts of an actual Sharc unit, which I think would be pretty cool for people to have a look at. And of course, we'll put it into this. But let's kick things off. Maybe do you want to start things with what you're seeing on the city government, even countryside of kind of legislation changes?
Yeah, I think the important thing, Jason, is that COVID is going to end at some point in time. I don't think anybody's sure when that's going to be, but we've had some great time here during the COVID time to really improve how we do business, and we've never been busier with inquiries coming in and projects getting started. What we're not seeing is these projects getting to close just right now. Everybody's kind of waiting for things to get back to whatever normal is going to be. But just recently in New York City, they passed in New York State actually, they passed a change to the building code that really allows for sewage heat recovery. So, one of the first states in the country that's recognized sewage heat recovery. I know Jody's working with King County and in the Seattle area there on a groundbreaking new project with sewage heat recovery there. And most cities now are going to come out of COVID spending money on infrastructure, but we're relatively certain that's going to be green, sustainable infrastructure. So, we're hoping, we're pretty sure we're going to be a part of that. So we're really positioning ourselves, and we got all these new reps that are out there knocking on doors, and I know that there's been a higher number of inquiries than we've ever seen. So we're going to work on closing them out, and everybody wants to be sustainable. I think it's pretty much a given that the next pandemic in the world is climate related, and I'm not sure we're not in that. So, one thing with everybody staying at home has changed the dynamic of climate change only briefly, but the minute people get back to work, it goes right back as bad as it was. And then you mentioned the EPRI project, and I sent you a little video of the installation. So we were able to install a Piranha over there during the COVID lockdown. So that took a bit of dancing around, getting things done. The truck driver was wearing a mask, and we didn't come within 6 feet of each other and stuff. But we were able to take the Piranha, the standard Piranha unit out, put it on the truck, get it back to the office here, put the brand new Piranha HC in. And we're able to do it during the toughest times. We had trades coming in, plumbers doing their work, and everybody kind of came in shifts. So it really effectively got done. And now we're almost halfway through the project. So we've got the first 4 weeks of information in, and I can tell you that the Piranha HC is working unbelievably well. We've impressed all of our utility partners. And then we did have one day when the unit shut down. Normally that would be sort of catastrophic to have the unit shut down, but it was a real good test for our system where we monitor every function of the unit. So we were able to find the exact second that unit shut down, found out it was a communication problem in the computer system that gave a false reading, shut the system down as a safety. And within an hour, we had the system back up and running. So it really proved out our quality control in our system. So while it looked kind of bad to get an alarm that the system was off, it really let us prove that our electronics and the money we invested in the analytics really works. So we're getting phenomenal COPs. We're making hot water. It turns out that the Piranha T10 runs about 8 hours a day to make the hot water for the building. About 50% of the hot water for the building. So next week's test is 75% of the hot water, and then the final 4 weeks are 100%. So we've been going along. Every 2 weeks we have a conference call with the utility partners, and everybody's very happy what they're seeing now. So it's been great, and I sent you the video, so hopefully we can play that on at the end of this or something. But I think EPRI's excited. We're scheduled in for a halftime review here in 2 weeks with them, and then in October we present as one of their feature products for the year at their utility conference in St. Louis, and that may be virtual. I guess maybe things in the States won't clear up by then, but so it's very exciting times for us. We've hired a new young lady in the front here that has her MBA from the New York Institute of Technologies in here as an intern, and she's been able to really teach us a lot about how to do recording. She was a project manager before, so her name's Eliza, and she's been a real good addition to the company. We're hoping she stays on after her internship is done. So we keep adding here and adding good people, and Hans Paul's chugging away doing his thing. And on a note between Hans Paul and myself, we had a little bet who could lose 20 pounds the fastest and be the first. And the old man here is kicking his butt good on that one. He's actually put a little weight on, and I'm down 15, so I'm closing them out soon. But life at Sharc, with nobody in the office and rotating shifts in the office, has worked very smoothly. I don't think we'll bring the people back in. I think that 2 hours a day they spend back and forth to the office is better spent on life. And if we've learned anything from COVID, is that we better enjoy life while we have the chance. So it can change pretty quickly. So I think we're a global community, and we better start taking advantage of all the great things we have.
Yeah, you covered a lot of things. Holy smokes. No, that's awesome. Incredible. You guys will be able to do a halftime, kind of review and report with the EPRI guys. I'm sure we'll be able to, kind of do a recap on that in the next couple of weeks, which is great. Definitely we'll play the video. It's awesome. It just gives people a behind the scenes kind of look, walking through, seeing how it all works. And I think that was fantastic. You touched on the system going down, which initially I was like, oh no, that can't be good. But then of course you kind of spun it into, hey, like this is great. It shows, the power of what you guys built, and that's fantastic. Do we want to maybe go back to some of the legislation changes, infrastructure? Obviously, hey, New York, biggest city, in the US, coming forward and saying that heat recovery is becoming more of what they're looking at. It almost felt like when we were talking to the guys from Long and HTS, they were saying, heat recovery wasn't really on many people's radar until very recently. So it's awesome that Sharc has kind of definitely ahead of the game when it comes to that. And as cities are becoming onboarded and realizing that, hey, this is important, it's got to make your guys' job a lot easier. I think one of the guys said, it's hard to make a better and better water furnace over and over, or a better HVAC system over and over. But hey, here's something that people aren't looking at that has a huge opportunity. And instead of trying to constantly improve something that's already great. Here's something no one's touching, and boom, here's a solution. What's kind of your feeling about that?
Well, that's what got me into the business 10 years ago, Jason, is that I recognized that half of the money I spent on energy in my home ended up going down the drain. And then, the analytic guy in me goes, where's it going to, and why can't we get it back? So Trevor Funk, who used to work here, came up with really the best way to describe it that I've ever heard. As he said, they've sealed all the windows, they've put better windows, better doors, better building envelope, and they've cut down the heat losses on a building. But there's still a hole in the floor, the drain, where 50% of the energy a day leaves the building, and you don't try to get it back. So, we just recognized that just last night, the Vancouver City Council approved the purchase of 2 more sewage heat recovery heat pumps for the False Creek Energy Center. So cities are doing it, and we're working with so many cities. There's Washington, D.C., Denver, Toronto, San Francisco. Every city is now looking at waste heat recovery. London, England, the momentum is there. So I think, we brought it to the forefront. Before Sharc started, nobody had heard of sewage heat recovery. Now I know that every city in the world has us on their list of things they want to investigate. They may not have us on our list of things they're going to do right now, but we're on there with solar, wind, fusion, everything else that's out there. We're on the list because it's such a simple idea to understand. So we just got to grow into our market and keep doing a good job. One thing we do, Jason, is we make first-rate product. We don't have a product problem, so we just have a problem getting it all over the world. And Jody's done a great job, and we're going to get her on here. She was down in the U.S., so she's quarantining here for 2 weeks. So we should get to her in the next couple of days and get her on here. So it's good stuff, and run the video.
Here we are in North Vancouver at the beautiful 735 building, built about 10 years ago. Has had Sharc Products in it from day one. Let's go in and have a look in the mechanical room. Here we are now in the parkade. You can see, looks like a very normal building, except the sewer lines all come into the waste holding tank right here. Matt's got his computer on there. There's Brett. And here we are at 735 going into the mechanical room. This is where the Piranha HC is currently making all the hot water for the building. You can see how nice and simple that is. Very simple applications, and I can tell you walking in here, there's absolutely no smell. Here's all the storage tanks. You can see we repiped them. They'll all be insulated and looking beautiful soon. But this is the unit is actually running right here beside me, so very quiet. You can hardly hear it making the hot water. So these pipes are nice and warm now. People can have their showers, do their laundry, etc. Saving energy and saving carbon. There's our famous intelligent panel.
The mechanical room I'm showing you there in the video isn't complete yet. You'll see a bunch of copper pipes and stuff, but now they're all insulated. It looks beautiful. So when we're finished with that room, there's going to be a lot of people wanting to look at it. So it is going to be perfect. And I'll get you some pictures of the finished product.
Perfect.
We want to really showcase what we're doing. And already, at 735, we're recovering all of the waste energy that goes down the drain there at a fraction of the price it would cost them to run another system. So run the video, and we'll talk to you next week.
Awesome.
And let's get back on schedule to do this more regularly.
Perfect. Well, sounds good. I know there's some other things, and we'll cover it in another video, maybe next week. If Judy or Jody comes on, sorry, I would love to chat. People were asking, hey, how has the partnership with HTS or long been? And of course, we can squeeze that into a future video. I think it would be nice to give them an update. I think, with every growing product, it's about kind of letting people know you exist is the first battle, and teaching them all the new ways. We were talking about the fact that legislation wise, heat recovery wasn't really a thing until this year. So there's a huge learning curve, and obviously, that's where Sharc comes in, and it seems like that's definitely the role you guys are playing as the experts in the field, and kind of teaching people, hey, this exists, and this is how much money you can save.